In this video, we are going to learn how we can create Node.js CRUD operations API. C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for update, D for delete. We will be requiring npm packages. One is CORS for enabling cross-origin resource sharing. Second, body parser for passing incoming request bodies. Third one is Mongoose for interacting with the MongoDB database. So first, let's open the terminal and we will initialize the project with npm init. So write npm init, press enter. Now simply I'm going to press on enter and change the entry point to app.js and keep on pressing the enter. Now as you can see, we have our package.json. Now we will install the packages required. So npm I or install will use express, CORS, body parser and Mongoose. Now press enter. As our packages are installing, we will see the node modules. As you can see, we have node modules installed. We'll also install the nodemon so that we don't have to rerun our project every time we do any changes in the file. Now our nodemon is also installed. Now let's create a file app.js and do the imports whatever required. So we'll require express. We'll create an app with the help of express. Now we will const and we will import the CORS also as a require, and then we will use Mongoose. We will require the Mongoose, and then body parser equals to require body parser. Now we'll create a let me fix this const. Okay, now you are done. Now let's add the port as 3000. This will be our default port for our application. So app.listen will write arrow function and console.log server is working. So we'll simply run this with the nodemon to check if our server is working or not. Yeah, as you can see in our console, we have server is working, which means our API, like the server is getting started. So app.use, we will use CORS. App.use, we will add a body parser .json for passing the JSONs. App.use body parser .url encoded, and we will make it extended as true. Okay, now we'll use app.get. Simply like whenever we are going to the slash route, take the default route, it should send a respond.json as message that the server is working fine. Yeah, status as 200. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and let's see if we hit. Okay, let me add the port also over here. On port 3000, that is port. So port we have already having 3000. So now as you can see, localhost 3000 will give us a JSON which is message server is working fine and status as 200, which means our server with express is working properly fine. Now we'll create one folder for the models and where we will define our schema in one user route.js. So we'll create a file user route.js. Now let's go to the model and create a file users or user.js. Now we'll define the schema, user schema here. So we'll require Mongoose. For that I'm requiring Mongoose. Then again, like we will need let's add a schema const. Basically user schema we will be requiring. So in this user schema we will be using email, contact and name. Only 3 items we will be using. So user schema new Mongoose, and then we'll add new Mongoose dot schema, I guess, or let's add first the type whatever the properties we have. Email colon. Okay, let me write schema over here. Yeah, now email of type, it will be of type will be string, then comma, and default will be null. Okay, and our email should be unique. That's why I'm adding unique as true. Let's add another thing, that is name, which will be of type string, default as null. So the default value will be null, and it should not be unique. Name can be different, but it should be required as true. We'll add the required to the email also, required as true, which means our these fields are mandatory. Contact, we'll add type string, default as null, and required as true. Let's save this and write module.export equals to, so our mongoose dot model will define the model as users comma user schema. Now we have defined our user schema for user. Okay, now let's go to app.js. We'll add the const mongoose. So now we'll connect our API to the database. So I'll give Mongo URL as MongoDB colon 127.0.0.1 colon 27017, which is a default port for our MongoDB. So yeah, I'm making the MongoDB database named as NodeJS CRUD DB. So we'll use mongoose.connect and we'll pass the Mongo URL dot then, and then inside here we'll pass, if it is like connection is correct or the connection is successful, we'll simply can write like database connection connected successfully, and if the connection got failed, then we'll catch it and we'll console that database connected or connection failed, which means database is not connected properly. Okay, so save this. As you can see, we have this connected and all, everything is working fine. Let's see. As you can see, database connected successfully is coming, which means our database is connected to the MongoDB database. Okay, and here let's write user routes.js. So we'll be requiring express over here. Require express const router equals to express dot capital R router, and we'll simply export this router. Yeah, module.export router. Now we'll create first our just adding some comments to show you what exactly we are going to create. So save user, we'll create an API to create the user or save user. Okay, so that will be our post API. Now router dot post, and our path will be /user comma request comma response, or the function should be async. Okay, yeah, let's save this, and try catch will be adding. Let me indent this. Okay, const will be requiring our model, that is users equals to require the user schema that we have created for user model and then user. Yeah, now let's see if let's first check what all the data we are getting. So we'll add it over here, const curly braces, like it's basically restructuring email, contact and name equals to request.body. So these parameters will come from our request.body, which is if we are sending from the as a post as a data, it will come inside the request.body. And here we will write if not email, not contact or not name, because we have all this thing as required. So we'll simply write send the status as 400 and messages required fields are missing. So if any of the field is not there, it will send a response as required fields are missing. Let we'll write user say equals to new users, and he will write email comma contact comma name. Okay, semicolon. Now let's try to save this. Await user save dot save. So this will basically save our users in our database. Let user inserted equals to. So now we want to check if the user is inserted or not. So that we can check over here. If not user inserted, do this. If user got inserted, then do this. So we'll just return response.json message comma user inserted successfully. This is basically else condition, or user added successfully will write, and status as 200. And if not user inserted, then we can just simply copy paste it over here and write change it to failed to add user. And in the catch we will just simply send the message as internal server error with the status code of 500. Internal server error, status code as 500. Let's format this document so that it should look nice and proper. Yeah, so here is our end for the user schema, like the post API. Let's open the Postman. Let me close all this unwanted instances and all APIs. Don't save. Don't save. Don't save. Don't save. And don't save. Yeah. Let's start with the new localhost colon 3000. Okay. Oh, before that we'll have to use it over here. We'll have to import users routes over here. So app.use API comma. Okay, first we'll create it user routes equals to require user routes comma user routes slash user routes. Sorry. Yeah, we'll add comma here and we'll pass user routes. Now save this, and yeah, that's it, I guess. Let's go here and we'll add into the body, change the method to post and add some raw data, which is email nscode@gmail.com, then name as nscode and contact as a random number. Let me add it as 727272, that is 5 times. Send. Oh, there is some issue with this. What can be the issue? Okay, the name here is wrong. Localhost then colon 3000 I have added. Let me check this. Okay, API slash API user. Okay, there should be some issue with this API over here. Let me add this console.log request.body. Now we'll check what exactly is coming. Send. Oh, nothing is coming, which means we have some issue at let's see where it should be. We have perfect. Okay, we'll need to add it somewhere here. Okay, we'll have to add slash API, right? Now let's send. As you can see, user added successfully, we are getting. Okay, with the status as 200. Let's try to add another person or user, John Doe, and let me change the number to 74 and press send. Yeah, we are getting user added successfully. Let's change this and should be seeing what data is getting added. So we'll add data as user inserted. So now if we add one more user, we should be able to see that user Davis, and let's change the number to 78. Send. As you can see, we have data with the name Dave Davis and Dave Davis. Okay, let's go to MongoDB Compass. Let's connect our local over here and see our database, that is NodeJS CRUD DB, and users. You can see all the documents that we have inserted is over here. So now let's move ahead and we'll create another API, which will be basically for let's try to import all the users comma request comma response then async, it should be async. Now if, or we don't need any if, we'll simply add try catch. Let condition equals to this thing, a simple curly bracket like the object, and fetched user equals to await users dot find, and we'll simply pass condition. As we don't have any condition, we'll just simply set the execute. And if not fetch user, like we don't have any users, will respond something else, and if we have user, will respond something else. Let me copy paste this catch error, and I'll add here, and we'll add here, and we'll require an else also. We'll just simply change the status, and here we'll add the failed to fetch users, and in here we'll send it as user data fetched successfully, comma data as fetched users. And let's change the status to 200. Let's save this, or first format this. Yeah, save this. Now let's check our API is working properly or not. We'll change it to get and make it user, and simply press on send. As you can see, we have the data that we have stored in our MongoDB database. Now let's move ahead. We'll create another API. Let me add it comment get all users, which is basically read. Here we will create an update user data, which is basically update. So let's now add the update one. Oh, sorry, we'll add comment router dot put. So this is a put method basically for updating user colon email. So as a parameter, we will be passing email of our user, request comma response, and try catch. We'll see like const email equals to request dot params. So this email will be coming from our params, not from the body. Now const updated data equals to, we'll remove this, we'll not need this, we'll add an email because we need the data that needs to be updated. So we'll be passing name and contact. So here user can only change name and contact. Okay, I'll adding the comment over here, allow user to update only name and contact. Okay, he cannot change the email. Okay, so now let's add our sync over here. Let update user equals to await users dot find one and update, and we will add over here as our email colon email. So this is our condition, and then the data that needs to be updated, name as name and contact as contact. Okay, now let's see if not user updated user. We'll have to do something. If it is successful, we'll have to send the response at like user is updated, right? So we'll just copy this return response, and we'll add it to the catch. We'll add it over here, we'll add it over here, we'll change the status to 400 and change the message to something failed to update user, and here we'll change it to 200. We'll write user updated successfully. Now let's save this, and we'll pass data updated user. Okay, format this. Now let's check this in our Postman. Let's create a new. Let me copy this, localhost colon localhost 3000 user. We'll make it as put user comma email. So what is our email? Let's see one of the person. Yeah, nscode@gmail.com. So we'll change the name and contact of this user. So go to the body, click on raw, and let's add name as NSCode YT. Earlier it was NSCode, and then contact as 878787 or something random number I'm providing. Okay, let's send. Now it shows user updated successfully. This is the old data that we are getting. And now if you want to check if the user got updated or not, we'll go to MongoDB. Let's refresh this. As you can see, the name got updated to NSCode YT. Okay. Now let's try to do one more. Let's change the john@gmail.com. We'll change this person's name as John Doe YT and change the contact as this. As you can see, user updated successfully we are getting, and if we refresh, the data for contact and name got changed, right? So now let's create an API for our last API, that is which is delete, for deleting a user. Okay. Now let's simply it will be just same as our put only, just the change will be a method only. Okay, so we'll copy paste over here, we'll make it as delete, and we'll change this. We don't need this name and contact and all. We'll just remove this. We'll just remove this comment, and we have we don't need this. We can use this, I guess. Deleted user equals to omit find one and delete. We'll use find one and delete, and we'll just simply pass the condition without name and contact. We don't need that. And delete user, and here failed to delete user. If the delete is not deleted, user deleted successfully. Yeah, that's it. Let's remove this data, or let's send it as null and change it to delete. Now if you run this, you will see that user deleted successfully, and if you go to ComposDB and refresh this, as you can see, our user got deleted. Now let's delete this. dave@gmail.com, send. Now our user got deleted. If you go to the Compass and refresh, the user also got deleted. So this is how we have completed our CRUD operations in Node.js API. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and share it as soon as